Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We are cutting some Thundereggs today, and I hope to maybe answer a couple of questions for myself in the process and maybe work down some of that rock pile. Well, I am specifically talking about the Lucky Strike Thundereggs that you can get from a feed dig site in Central Oregon. We were there 2 years ago. We dug a bunch of Thundereggs. It was a lot of fun. I've cut a bunch of those Thundereggs, and I've learned a couple of things. So right away, people were like, the little Thundereggs are not worth collecting or cutting, and the big ones are, okay? And that's a little bit of a problem because that size is very subjective. What determines it to be a little egg might mean very different things to both of us. So I will show you a couple of the ones that I've already cut and polished that are really, really good, and I think are great examples of the locality. And you can kind of see where we're like the size of the palm of my hand here. I would say that's a pretty good Lucky Strike egg. Another one that's about the palm of my hand. I think that one's also pretty dang good. If you haven't seen any of my other videos about Thundereggs, I do have a full playlist here on the channel, including a great video explaining what these things are. But these are good eggs, and you can see these can be big, like that's, you know, hides my hand almost. Nice chunky double. I think that's a good egg. However, I would say this is on the upper end of big. A lot of people don't have saws capable of cutting this. You know, they don't. So, little eggs, what I would say are little. I initially cut some of these and I was like, that's not the best. Now, in preparation for one of my Saturday videos, I did some Thunderegg cutting, and I cut that Lucky Strike egg, and I think that's pretty good. We got some water line, got a little druzy pocket. It's good. We'll get this one a little more wet. I think part of the problem with these is this seems acceptable. This does not. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? When you have these, a bunch of these, this looks less good. And I can't have junky rock sitting around. I need less rock. I already have some of the Thundereggs that I've cut in the past sitting over on the bench. We're going to go look at those. I got ones that are, let's say, walnut sized to whatever ball you want to compare that to. I have this is the last of my Lucky Strike eggs in here. I want to make this bucket a fair amount lighter today. Okay. These little eggs here, I would say, are probably going to go out in the discard bin. And we can kind of see the size here on these. Not fantastic. In hindsight, going back to the Lucky Strike, because I believe they might be opening next year, summer 2023. They opened some at the end of summer 2022, a couple of weekends that were not a bunch of advance notice. So I think in seeing this, I might be tempted to always pass on eggs of this size. However, that said, let's look at some of these bigger eggs, okay? I think that one is quite pretty. Let's get a little more light going here. How about that? I think that one is quite pretty, so we can kind of see for the size what that looks like. Very beautiful red and black swirls. That one right there, I think that's a good egg worth saving. And I'm also looking at these in the sense of their fracture. That's a good egg. This one being a double, you know me, I'm a sucker for some doubles. I think that one is also worth saving. This one has a fracture running through it. So although it might be neat, it's not as good as some of the others. We'll be doing this again at the end. This one I'm a little on a mixed bag. I probably will hold on to it simply because it's not fractured and that. This guy, I kind of like this one. Although it's more rhyolite than chalcedony in here, it will probably get hung on to. This one was a little bit of a weird guy. I cut it like this. I probably should have cut it the other way. I was trying to go for max exposure, which I did. Wait, where are we at? Yeah, well, whatever, doesn't matter. Max exposure of the chalcedony. This side might get chucked, and I'll just count this as half. Lastly, this one was a weird egg, and it broke in the saw. I'm not sure how I feel about it. This one will probably get saved and then get ditched later. So already we're lightening the load some. The saw that I'm going to be making the cuts on today is going to be this Lortone TS10C. I don't know why they left the C off of it. I guess they used the TS10 body for some different things. Water bucket, discard bucket, which if you don't have a discard bucket in your shop, it's very satisfying to fill it up and then take it out back to the discard pile. And here's our items we are hoping to work through today. So let's get this thing going, get it all fired up here, and start cutting some Thundereggs. That took a little bit of time, but I cut 20 Lucky Strike Thundereggs, and I have 5 left. My hands got a little tired, so we're calling it. We're gonna head over to the bench, look at these things, do some high grading, and let's see how we did. Before you would be all 20 eggs that I cut in half, dry. Right away, we can see that we have some problems, some immediate discards. This is how I like to high grade material that I've cut. So as an example, okay, this egg right here, we have these fractures running through it. That's not worth my time to go and do something with. Although if that wasn't fractured, that would have been a good egg. Similarly, this other portion of it, this one back here looks pretty good. I mean, the colors are nice in it when we get it wet, but we got some serious fracturing. Like this right here. That's not what you want out of your Thundereggs. And if we get this guy a little wet, we can see, man, that would have been a really lovely egg, I think, if it stayed together. I mean, you can see we got that little pluming in there. Very lovely, except, well, into the discards with it. A couple that stand out as having some problems, but I'm going to keep, be like this guy right here. We do have that fracture. We're going to look at all of these wet, but I just kind of want to do some immediate castaways. This one is another example where we have this fracture, and this may not polish up very well at all. But, so we're down to 18 eggs here. And let's get this wet, and then we'll kind of see then what some bad eggs or good eggs will be. We can kind of go from there if there's anything that truly stands out. So right away, this is not enough chalcedony in here to make me want to do anything with this. Similarly, this one, the chalcedony to rhyolite ratio is kind of way off in my opinion. That one, I don't know, that's not that great, right? Like all of that is just rhyolite. This one, another one where I'm like, that's a hard, that's a maybe. I mean, that little pocket, is it worth spending a lot of time polishing these? Because, you know, the Lucky Strike eggs are on the more difficult end to polish because of its crumbly rhyolite. So you really got to be smart with how you spend your time. So we'll go maybe on that one. This one right here, it's very yellow. And to my finger, it's kind of not, it's like almost feels a little porous. So that's another maybe that we will come back and re-examine. For the most part, though, a lot of these came out looking very good. That one's great. We'll take a great polish. This one I'm kind of excited about. I think that one will look great. This is one where I'm kind of looking at it and being like, that's a maybe. That's a keep. That one's definitely a keep. That one's pretty cool. Drying out here. It's winter, and I've been running my diesel heater out here in the shop, but it dries the air out, which is good and bad. So we're keeping that guy. That's a lovely egg. I think that one's really cool. Now we're getting into stuff where I'm like, well, got moss. We're going to keep that one. We will keep that one. This is one where I feel like the answer should be no. We have some fractures in here. That's not going to take a polish. The only thing that's going to take a polish would be that right in there, and it's fractured up. So not worth my time. No fractured eggs. And you know, I'm sure somebody out there is thinking like, oh, well, I would love to have those. Don't get rid of them. Well, you know, there's only so many hours in the day that I can do this. And I have to put my energy into good things and not bad things, you know. Nobody really needs a bunch of fractured up, low quality Thundereggs. Okay. That one, I'll keep this one. I'll keep that one. Let's look at our 3 over here. I think that's a maybe. I like the bands in that. And then these 2, that one's not going to polish well. That one's got some nice red in it, but maybe not worth it. All right. Well, I think we certainly called the herd a little bit. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied. Okay, I got 12 really good Thundereggs out of cutting 20 of those, and they are on the more manageable side. I did it with that 10-inch trim saw, the Lortone saw, so very happy there, and I basically cut my weight in half with them. So this is a good thing to do in the wintertime. I appreciate you guys coming by, hanging out with me in the shop. We'll be doing some future polishing of these, and there will be some photos up on the website as well, currently rockhounding.com. You can always go there and you can find the listing for the Lucky Strike mine, see a bunch of the different stuff that we've cut over the years from there, and I'm excited to go back summer 2023. Well, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I will catch you in the next video.